Hey everyone, thank you for joining me for another YouTube video. We're going to go ahead and just knock this out real quick. But before I do want to go ahead and point out that we do have a podcast coming. It's our weekly Retro Rewind podcast coming up this Friday with my co-host Mike. Hopefully you'll join us for that as we talk about stuff throughout the past couple of weeks that have been interesting to us. And of course, you always feel free to like this if you did enjoy this channel or this video, and of course subscribe to this channel. As you know, I just continue to grow and get better. I try to improve the sound, try to improve the video to make it as good as you can. But outside of that, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into today's video, and we're going to head and just talk about this real quick. It comes to us thanks to MSN News. We're going to go ahead and transition over to it, and it basically just talks about how we have the Cyberpunk 2077 DLC that's coming, and apparently it is ditching the last gen consoles, which to me is just, that's perfectly fine. I think that that's something that they probably should have done technically to begin with. I'm not saying that it was fair, but with how bad it ran on like the PS4, the Xbox One, it probably should have just been better for Cyberpunk 2077 to have waited and just come out exclusively for this current generation. I don't know how much better it would have ran on the PS5 or on the Xbox Series X, but I think it would have been good. And this hopefully, with this DLC and it's the fact that it's ditching last gen consoles, hopefully it is the beginning of the end of the last gen consoles. I mean, again, nothing wrong with the PlayStation 4. I love the PlayStation 4. It's had some great memories on it. I played some great games on it. But it's time. We're like I think we're 2 years in now. And we're still getting PS4 games. We're still getting Xbox One games. And I understand to an extent because it's getting more about the service. That's something that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit also in this video. We're getting more into the service aspect of it rather than, the hardware end. But I would like to see these games take advantage of the SSDs of these consoles, to take advantage of what these consoles are capable of doing. But getting more into the actual service aspect, we can see here that we have Deathloop coming to PlayStation Plus Extras or Premium, depending on whichever one you're using. Along with games like Watch Dogs 2 and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Now, that's great if you never played Deathloop. I know people that bought Deathloop. So, and I'm in the same boat. I bought Scarlet Nexus on my Xbox Series X in order to, one, have a game to own, and also to support the developer, because it's a game that I heard about like a year and a half before it came out, and it looked really good, and it was a really good game. I really enjoyed playing it, but now it's a part of Game Pass, so I really should have just waited. And this is sort of proof that we're getting into a more service-based gaming now. Like, we've seen this already. We talked about this on the podcast a little bit, where we are getting more into service-based stuff. Like, we've done this with music. We have Apple Music, Spotify, whatever your fancy is. You just pay that monthly subscription, and the music is yours. Same thing with these streaming apps like Disney Plus, Hulu, Paramount Plus, whatever, where they just basically give you the movies, and you just wait like a month or whatever, and those movies come. If they don't come the same day and date as the actual theatrical release, they come within a few weeks to a month after the theater gets a chance to show it. So I think that it's a very interesting time where games that we know that are coming to Xbox come to Game Pass automatically. And as we're seeing now, Deathloop and possibly Ghostwire Tokyo, maybe. With these games, if you wait long enough, they're just going to come to PlayStation Plus or Game Pass, and you just play them then. So there really isn't much of a point to having a physical library anymore, which is sad for somebody like me. I'm a retro console person. I like to have the older consoles, and I like to have the physical games to show that this is my library and I own these. But it is getting more to a point to where, again, as long as you have that box, whether it is your computer whether it is an Xbox Series X, whether it's a PlayStation 5, PS4, possibly Switch if Nintendo gets in on this, or in the future if we end up with just a big stick that you just put in your TV and you download the apps and you just play them off the app. Because again, you could just probably get like the PlayStation Plus app, go on there and you play the games, you download them, you stream them, whatever. It's getting to a point to where things are just getting digital, and it makes a ton of sense. It makes a ton of sense because that's where the money is. Because it doesn't matter whether I do it on my smart TV or on my computer or on, again, PlayStation or through a Roku stick or whatever. As long as I have access to a controller and I'm able to download it somewhere, or if I've got strong internet to stream it, there you go. And if you stream it, it uses like 0 of your memory, I think. It doesn't use a whole lot of storage, if it uses any at all. So you're basically saving storage space also, which is good. But that's going to be it for me. Those are the 2 news things I kind of wanted to talk about and point out real quick. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about the Cyberpunk 2077 DLC ditching the last gen consoles? I think it's about time. I've been saying for a long time that I feel like these consoles are being held back by the previous gens, and I think that we could do so much better and have a true next gen feel by just simply saying, you know what, there's no more PS4 games. These are PS5 only. Unless there's some way to maybe scale it to it's like, look, it's automatically performance mode on PS4, whatever. I don't know. I'm not a engineer or a technical person in that aspect, but there you go. And of course, what do you guys think about Deathloop and Watch Dogs and all that stuff being announced for PlayStation Plus? Do you think that we're eventually just going to start seeing games come basically for a couple weeks to a couple months? Any game that you want to play, if you just wait long enough, is going to be available on these platforms. That's going to do it for me now, guys. I just wanted to keep it real short, do a real quick video. I got a lot of stuff to do with my day. And of course, I'm also going to start preparing for, again, the Retro Rewind podcast. We can come and join us this Friday for that. Otherwise, guys, have yourself a good one, and I will see you next time.